Hoi An, the magical and quaint town of central Vietnam. Recently, it was announced as one of the fastest developing travel destinations. Its charm attracts thousands of tourists every day. This beautiful place has it all. Historical sites, lovely walking lanes, great street food, beautiful architecture, and even a sandy beach with clear blue water. And how is Poland connected to any of this? This is not a clickbait. We know Hoi An in the way it is now thanks to this country. How? You will find out in this video. The history of Hoi An is really dramatic. I won't be loading this video with multiple names and dates. All that you need to know is that Hoi An from the 15th to 19th centuries was a massive trading center of Southeast Asia. Basically like London or New York these days, just without the skyscrapers. Hoi An was a trading ground for Vietnamese, Chinese, Japanese, British, Portuguese, French and other nations. Because of the river system and close proximity to the sea, it was very convenient to transport goods from Vietnam, Thailand, Laos and other. It was simply the best trading destination in Asia. Hoi An's trading reign lasted for about 300 years, but ended pretty abruptly in 1775. There are several versions of what had happened. Some say that a war in the region completely destroyed the town. Others say that Da Nang took over the leadership, while Hoi An's economy slowly deteriorated because its river was no longer fit for the goods transportation. The fact is that Hoi An was almost completely left alone for 200 years. The buildings remained intact and untouched up until 1990s, where Kazimierz Kwiatkowski discovered this town and realized its potential. He and his team decided to restore and refurbish it, though they wanted to make sure that its authenticity would remain preserved. Thanks to their work, we can see Hoi An in its original state without any significant changes. Now is protected by UNESCO World Heritage Convention. It is considered as an exceptionally well-preserved example of a traditional Asian trading port. I came to visit Hoi An during my summer holiday. It was my second visit to this absolutely charming town, and I simply didn't want to leave it. I think the best thing for me in it is that its center is an entirely pedestrian area. Cars and motorbikes are not allowed to go in, so you can safely walk around without being afraid of trucks or bikes. Hoi An's vibe is really chilled and relaxing. It's probably my most favorite town in Vietnam. My trip to Hoi An was a bit unusual. Hoi An is only 40 kilometers away from Da Nang. Normally people would take a taxi or a bus to reach it, but I decided to try Easy Rider services. These guys ride rather comfy bikes. They tie your bags and then take you wherever you ask them to. My ride was rather quick, only about an hour, and then I was in Hoi An. I stayed in a cozy and quiet area, but with very easy access to all attractions. One of the main reasons why everyone knows Hoi An is its quite well-developed textile and clothing industry. Clothes shops are located on basically every single corner. People would come here to make perfectly fit suits and dresses for a fairly affordable price, especially if you compare it to prices in America or Europe. Hoi An has successfully capitalized on this concept of the textile capital of Vietnam. My friends told me that their prices are actually not that cheap if you compare to the rest of Vietnam, and you could easily find something better, say in Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City, but let's not ruin this beautiful myth about Hoi An. Another reason why people come here is food. I'm not that much of a food blogger, but I must say that Hoi An's food is just great. They make amazing banh mi's, cao lo, and other great dishes. People also come here to try experimental fusion dishes, and then, when they have a free moment, they also take cooking classes. After food, people would often go chill in one of the cafes or just relax in the bars. There's not that much party movement in this town. There are only a couple of noisy pubs. Hoi An is all about chilling and enjoying the moment. One more reason to come here is the museums and temples. Hoi An is an ancient town. Some buildings here date all the way back to the 15th century. Due to Hoi An's compact size, it's really easy to see them all within 1-2 days. Just buy a multi-ticket and go exploring. Here are a couple of places that you definitely should visit. And if you ever get tired of endless walking around the Asian streets, just jump on a bicycle, head to the coast. Go straight, don't turn anywhere, and you'll reach the beautiful beach of Hoi An. It's a great place to grab a coconut drink, lay down, and enjoy the sun with its crystal blue water and soft yellow sand. The area is not that well developed, which gives it some extra charm. You don't feel like in the middle of some noisy resort area, oh no, it feels like being on some secret and wild beach with some accidental cafe so conveniently positioned right next to it. It's a great spot to relax after a day of walking in Hoi An. Once you're done with resting by the beach, you should come back to the town. Hoi An looks stunning at night. The lanterns are lit and people go out to take small boat cruises along the canals. It's a good time to visit the night market, grab some street food, maybe buy some souvenirs, and then walk around to enjoy the scenery. And then if you're too tired, you can go to one of the bars or spa salons. They're all open until midnight or around so. It's a great way to end a busy day of walking and exploring this area. I guess it would be fair to mention the downsides too, so that you don't have any false expectations. I think the main and the biggest one is crowds. The town gets more and more packed these days, and I imagine the situation may be getting even worse in the future. There are not that many towns like this in Vietnam, and Hoi An certainly has its own very distinctive charm, which attracts crowds and crowds of people. It can be annoying, especially if you're there during one of the Vietnamese public holidays. But the rest of it, I think, is just great. The views, museums and temples, food and drinks are excellent. It's a definite must visit. And I guess this will be enough for this video. Hoi An is such a magnificent place. I think it's a must visit for every person who comes to Vietnam for a holiday. And even if you live in Vietnam, it is still a great spot to spend a couple of days. For me, the best thing is that you can actually walk around and explore it on foot. Vietnamese towns and cities are usually no good for that. Most of the time you'll need to take a taxi or a bike to safely and comfortably get to the point of your destination, but not in Hoi An. In any case, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment in the section down below. Tell me what you think about the video. Did you like it or not? What is your favorite place? Well, for now, this will do. Bye and see you soon.